So I'm going to be real here. The Georgia Amoore experiment for the Washington Mystics kind of needs to end. It needs to end. Not that Georgia Amoore is this terrible player. Not that Georgia Amoore is somebody that can't be a backup guard on a WNBA team. But like, she's really bad. She's really, really bad. Like, she has a significantly worse assist to turnover rate, one of the worst assist to turnover ratios in the league for a guard. 3 turnovers to 4 assists, basically, which is not good. Which is not good at all. Like an assist to turnover ratio, comparable to that of Caitlin Clark. I think it's worse than that of Caitlin Clark, but you don't have the advantage of Caitlin Clark averaging nearly 10 assists a game. She can't shoot. She shoots 28% from 3. And this is one thing I never understood. Is everyone was like, oh, when I was talking about the Mystics at the start of the year, I was like, oh, they're terrible. They're going to be tanking. I was very wrong about the Portland Fire, but I was right about the Mystics. And people were like, oh, they're going to be fine. I was like, none of them can shoot. And they were like, Amoore can shoot. I'm like, no, she can't. In college, Georgia Amoore couldn't shoot for shit. Like, when she actually was getting, like, shooting big reps, she was a 33% shooter in college. In college. That's terrible. And she's not young. Like, she is closer in age to me than our fam. She is closer in age to me than our. Like, that's how bad we're looking at it. Like, she is 4.5 years younger than me. She's 5 and a bit years older than our fam. Like, is she older than Anthony Edwards? I think she's older than Anthony Edwards. She's what? 5 months older than Anthony Edwards. Is she older than LaMelo Ball? She's 4 months older than LaMelo Ball. Like, I'm just trying to think again. James Wiseman is out of the damn league. She is 4 days. She is 4 days younger than James Wiseman. A man who has been out of the league, basically. He's back in the NBA. Who's this close to being out of the NBA. She's not this young rookie. She's entering her prime. She's 25 years old. She's not going to get better than this. And this is one of these things where, for the last year, I talked about it so much. I'm like, Jade Melbourne is probably the best player, or is the best guard on the Australian national team. Georgia Amoore doesn't even make the Australian national team. She's not even in the roster. But they cut their best guard, who's a year younger than her, for Georgia Amoore. And the worst part about this is that Alicia Flores, who is actually a young point guard, who is 3 years younger than Georgia Amoore, is so much better than her. Like, Alicia Flores is a dev contract player. She's going to be brought up to a main contract. Someone's going to go and sign her. Like, it is what it is. I think everybody knows that. This is a player who did not get much burn for Valencia in 2025. Who did she play for this year? So she played for... She's not even with the Spanish national team. On the year, she averaged 12 points per game for Encino. But she's so much better. She is so much better than Georgia Amoore. Like, she's not 5 foot nothing, which helps. That helps. Like, she's much bigger. She's much stronger. She's a much better defender. She's less of a liability. She's smarter than Georgia Amoore. Just because she can't go hezzy, tween, step back brick. Like the old WNBA. Like, again, there are too many sub 30% shooters that are chucking. And it's not like people guard Georgia Amoore. Like, she's burned Jade Melbourne. And I still cannot believe the Washington Mystics just let Jade Melbourne walk. Like, they could have had her for a minimum. Instead, they let her walk and she signs for $600K a year. Much better for her as well. But, like, you look at this here. That's a defensive possession. Comes across. Runs the pick and roll. Is still able to get people in. Hits Sonia Citron on that pass. Like, she is significantly better than Amoore. And again, this isn't one of these things where it's like, oh yeah, Georgia Amoore is a terrible basketball player. Or that Flores is this unbelievable player, because Flores isn't the greatest shooter either. Like, Flores isn't the greatest shooter. She's just not 5'5", and she's younger. Like, this is the best performance a Mystics point guard has had. So she was probably on loan. She was probably a Valencia player on loan somewhere else. But like, there's been an awful lot of like positives from her game. And I literally have been I'm not gonna say keeping an eye on her, but I knew who she was. Basically, the reason is that I do keep up to date on some Hunter Cruz stuff. But like 21-year-old should be a WNBA rotation player. Like, her ability to run the point is incredible. Like, she is a fantastic, like, she is literally what the Mystics were sold that Georgia Amoore was going to be. That is what she is. And she's not 5'3". Like, that kind of helps. She is 5'9", and a big 5'9" at that. Like, she's 5'9". She does not look that much smaller than Caitlin Clark. Like, she is a big 5'9". She's not like a Raven Johnson undersized 5'9". She's a big 5'9". But overall, like, she is what they were sold Georgia Amoore was. And they managed to sign her. It's a good pickup. And look, do I think Alicia Flores is a starting point guard in the WNBA? No. I don't. Do I think she should be a starting point guard on the Mystics? Yes. Because Georgia Amoore is terrible. Like, and you might be saying, oh, but like, give Georgia Amoore time and all this. How much more time do you want to give her? She's probably closer to retirement than she is to when being a freshman in college. Which is crazy. But yeah, it is genuinely one of these things where, because Georgia Amoore went to Virginia Tech and Kentucky and has a couple of like big games in college, she goes up to number 6 in the draft. I had Georgia Amoore mid-second round in 2025 in my big board. I had her going mid-second round. I think that's where she should have gone. I had her below Tahina Paopao. I had her above KK Timpson. I had her below Serena Sundell. She's better than Serena Sundell, I'll give her that. But like, they just wasted the 6th pick. I think they were expecting Jacita to be there at 6. That's my theory, is that they expected Jacita to be there at 6. But yeah, it is it's one of those things where I don't know if it's a good problem to have that your point guard is not great. But if you're maybe they'll keep her in there tanking. But like, the only logic I've heard for Georgia Amoore to be in the starting lineup and to play is, oh, she's young, she has potential. She's not young. She is 25. You're supposed to be entering your prime. Like, players don't, like, it's very rare that a player massively develops post 25 years old. They can get better, sure, but you can't go from being like borderline unplayable to a good player, to a really good player post 25. And that's the only logic I've heard from anyone is, oh, they used the 6th pick on her. Oh, she's young. She's not young.